Hi, how are you? I am Zachary Burr-Abel. This is Miles the Monkey, and we are Monkey Miles. We're still on location, so we're bringing you a little bit of a tip and trick on how you can hack American Airlines award searches using a few different techniques I think that will help you populate lower and more attractive pricing schemes. So let's just hop into it. I want to highlight two articles. So if you read Monkey Miles, if you can pull up two articles that I wrote this week. One is 45,000 AA Biz to Tokyo. The second one is going to be a trick to finding the 61,000 AA first class space. Again, they were both, I think, in this past week. They both highlight American Airlines web specials and specifically how you can search to find these specials, but also how you can search to find some of these partners. So let's just dig into it. I'm going to pull up the first article here, which is the AA 45K Biz to Tokyo, the American Airlines web special. So let's just scroll down a little bit here. You can see the product that you would be flying. So this is that Super Diamond business. It's the best that AA has, in my opinion. You can see a couple of how I searched. This is exhibiting the calendar function. So you can see some 45 days, some 60 days, Dallas to Tokyo. And then you can see where it's the web special, so it's $45,005.60. It's pretty amazing. So let's click on over to the trick to finding the 61K. This is going to show a similar way of searching. Scroll down here, and we can see that this was highlighted by Doctor of Credit and Point Me to the Plane. They found this, at least I found it through them. This is the first class. I've never flown it, actually. I've seen it multiple times, but I haven't actually experienced their first class. So you can't use the old search function. I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later in this. Let's scroll on down. So here you can see if you just saw you're originating out of Dallas to go to Hong Kong, you wouldn't see the space at all. Let's scroll on down. So I'm going to highlight what married segment means. Married segment means you need to originate somewhere other than Dallas, connect through Dallas, and then it would show. So here we go. Boom. Indianapolis to Hong Kong. Suddenly you see all these 61,000 point seats. Again, here's LAX, another version of it. Let's just click on over. I'm going to show you how to search some of this stuff. Here you can see the last search that I had was LA to Tokyo when I was researching this a little bit. So let's go back to the home page. So on this home page, you're going to go down. You're going to put in LAX to Tokyo. I'm just going to use the 22nd as a date. Let's just go ahead and search that. So this is just your standard normal search to see what it's going to populate. I found this to be a lot clunkier to use than the old system, which you could prioritize and you could organize. But here, let's scroll down through so you can't really see what is the best, but we can see there's a few different options here at 45K. So that's what I wrote my article on, but you see that's married, right? LA to Dallas, Dallas to Tokyo. So let's look and see, well, could we see it on a wider scale? Let's click on the calendar function over here. So as calendar loads, what we'll be able to see here is typically it loads in economy. So you want to be able to dictate on that calendar function the cabin. So here you can see there's a bunch of 20,000 one-ways in economy. We're going to go over here to all class. Let's click down to business, business first. So as that loads, we'll be able to see truly what the lowest is on the calendar, and these are going to prioritize American Airlines metal flights. So you're not going to see partners pop up on this. The lowest that you're going to see is going to be American Airlines. So let's just look. Here's LA to Tokyo. That's how I found the 45K to begin with when I was researching this article. So another way that we can look at this is to say, well, what would it look like if you didn't marry it? So we're going to do that out of Dallas. Let's search that. So let's say you want to just fly direct from Dallas. It'd be much easier for you. Can you get the same deal? So as we see here, it populates, and lo and behold, everything is at 120K. So we go to the calendar function. Is that actually the truth? Let's look and see, because sometimes this thing will load dozens and dozens of flights, and as I said, the new search function is so clunky. We'll go over here to business. Let's prioritize those businesses again and see if there's anything populating at that 45K level. And we see, oh, there's a few at 55K. There's a bunch at 60. Let's look and see like what one of these 55Ks actually looks like. Let's see if we can, if we don't have to fly on the 22nd, but we can see that the 22nd no longer is populating at 45. It's at 60 now if you want to originate in Dallas. So we know married segment is in play. Let's look and see what the 55K has to offer. So on here, the 55K, where is it departing? Dallas to LA. So ironically, you cannot fly direct from Dallas, you cannot fly direct from LA, but if you flip-flop them and marry them together, then you can fly out of one of the other cities and it will reduce the cost. So let's take a look at how to populate the old search function. So as you saw, like I went to the home page, I'm going to go into advanced, I'm going to click redeem miles. Let's just search again. LAX to Tokyo. Let's do a similar search as I was doing with the new calendar function. Let's do that with the old method. So you're going to want to make sure that you have all airlines, clicking on business. Voila, while that searches, we'll be able to compare the pricing for one, but also whether or not even the space populates using the old search function. So let's look at the full calendar. Let's click on Business Saver. So tons and tons of 60 space, right? Like we didn't see that on the other one. Let's clarify that down to nonstop. We saw there was really only a few dates. Let's look in here at the 22nd. So as we look at the 22nd, what do we see pop up? My guess is it's a ton of partner space. So as we look through here, yes, we're seeing JL, a bunch of connections, you know, Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego. Same thing on the second page, tons and tons. It's all partner space. So let's eliminate the partners. Let's just do apples to apples. Lo and behold, what do we see here? The 22nd, there is something on American. It goes back through Dallas again. That looks very similar to what we saw earlier. So why don't we go back, let's redo that search to see what it looked like pricing wise and see if that red-eye flight via Dallas into Tokyo, so 1 a.m., arrive at 4:55. Let's see if that's what we had on the old calendar function on the 22nd. Let's scroll down. There we go. 1 a.m. to 4:55, 45K. So just by using calendar function, you're actually going to save yourself 15,000 miles, and you're going to see a lot of other dates that are available. So this is similar to what I did over here when I found the first class special. It's what I did over here when I found the web specials for Tokyo and the 45,000. So the only other time you'd really, like, why do I still like to use that old calendar function? Let me pull it up here again. So on that home page, you're going to go over here. Let's just pick a city like Abu Dhabi that you know you're going to fly a partner to. American doesn't fly there, so it's going to have to route either through England on BA, or we might get lucky, and it might actually give us a direct flight on Etihad, which would be preferable. But the old search function gives us a much clearer view. Let's get rid of that. Gives us a much clearer view of how partners actually populate. So we can go to full calendar view here. Business, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of space. We don't know if there's connections. So nothing direct business. Let's go back here. Let's look at the 22nd. My guess is that this is going to be some combination of American, BA, and Etihad. But you can see how much clearer that calendar function is when it comes to partners. So there we go. So here you can see, yeah, connect through Boston. You're going to fly business from Boston to London, and then London on down to Abu Dhabi. But you can search much clearer with partners. So this is why I use multiple AA search functions. You want to be able to see if there is a web special. You want to be able to see if there are married segments and how you could manipulate that to best serve your travel interests. But at the same time, you also want to be able to use that old search function to see is there partner space available. I would rather fly personally if it was 60,000 on American and 60,000 on Japan Airlines to fly to Tokyo. I'd much rather fly on Japan Airlines. I mean, it's trust me, that's what you'd rather do. If it's 45 versus 60 and one of them allows me to fly direct and the other one makes me, you know, married segment LA to Dallas to Tokyo, and that's 45 versus LA to Tokyo is 60, I'm just going to take the direct flight at 60. It's worth the extra 15,000 points, which typically you can just buy on AA.com for $300. So it might even cost you $300 to try and position yourself. However, we saw on a lot of those routings, it was 45 versus 120. I mean, that's not even a discussion. 75,000 miles to have to fly to one city to position. We've talked about positioning before, but if you live in Dallas and it's going to cost you $120 to get to Tokyo, but you could fly to LA to start your journey and do that for $45, well, you're going to buy yourself a ticket, fly to LA, and backtrack back to your home city to Dallas to fly over there. To me, it's worth the time and investment. To me, it might not be to you, but if you have time to plan that journey and you have time to bake in that stop, it'll save you a ton of miles. So anyways, to recap, this should help you find and populate a lot more award inventory. It's something that I hadn't really anticipated even doing until this week, to where we can see that Americans' variable pricing, there isn't an award chart anymore for American Airlines, certainly on their own flights. I think that there still is one for partners, but it is in play, and at least to start, and hopefully it's not just a PR stunt that it's such attractive pricing. It looks like it may be a little bit more like Air France, which provides a lot of great options when using Flying Blue to redeem, transferring from Chase or transferring from Amex. American looks as though they might be emulating Air France. That would be great for us as consumers. There could be some really great deals out there. My fear was that they were going to emulate Delta, and Delta basically eviscerated their chart. They charge hundreds of thousands of miles. It's an absolutely ridiculous program, and that's why they call it Sky Pesos, because they don't go very far. So far, so good. But these little tips and tricks should help you populate more space for when you're trying to book an American Airlines award ticket or a partner award ticket, and also allow you to populate that old chart. So if you like this, please pound that like button, hit subscribe, notifications, the whole works. I'm Zachary Barable. This is Miles the Monkey.